Hi, my name is Ken Asselson. I wrote the Microbiome prescription website, and I want to take you through a revised feature which was there but slightly obtuse, and I simplified it so that people can understand better and make it also faster and more amusing to do. And what we're going to look at is how having one medical condition may evolve to another medical condition via the microbiome. To consider a condition, you have a condition, it has 10 particular bacteria shift. Another condition has 15 bacteria shift. And lo and behold, you find that 8 of the bacterial shift in the first condition is seen in the second one. It is reasonable to assume that there's a reasonably good chance, given DNA, diet, and other factors, that your original condition A could, in time, end up going to B. Why? Because the microbiome will change. In some cases, condition A could be effectively a precondition for condition B. So we're going to look at the available information to see if we can see any of these types of patterns, and wherever it applies to you, you have to figure that one out yourself. So just click on Information from Studies, U.S. National Library, and here you can see the particular thing, and you can get a listing of all of the studies used. For example, if you go down to here and click that, you will go and get a list of studies which are being used, from which we have abstracted the particular bacteria shifts. See, in some cases you get many in one studies, other cases you get only one or two, so it varies. And then over here, possible progression, and we have there some cases it's marked not sufficient data. Why? Because we have less than 6 taxon shifts reported for the condition. Not really enough to do much, because we're going to get massive agreement with many conditions. If you just pick 3 at random, chances are many conditions could have 3. So we can go down and we can take a look at whatever we want. Let's take a look at something like constipation. And over here, voila, we see where constipation can go. Often these conditions are conditions that come with constipation, but in terms of if you are not doing anything in particular, it goes there, and you can see things. For example, here you have Crohn's disease, you have irritable bowel syndrome, you have a whole bunch of different conditions. Now up the top, over the side of the page, you can go and, give me a second, you can click here and sort it from descending order. COVID-19 and constipation have a good amount of overlap, so if you get COVID-19, there's a good chance, hey, guess what? You could also get constipation. Crohn's disease has a fair amount of overlap. Autism too. Autism tends to be DNA, so say depression, inflammatory bowel disease. So we have a bunch of conditions here with the percentage of overlap. Now let's go and make life a little bit easier for this chart. What we're going to do is we're going to jack it up to a big 80% association. So we only have 2 things showing up now. And if you hover your mouse over it, you see that there's 113 taxons listed for each one of them, of which 88% are in agreement. COVID, we have 118, and we have also there. So there seems to be a distinctive similarity there. You can go over and click on up here and change to a different condition. Let's do let's do something. Let's try MECF with IBS, and we are 80%. What we're going to do is we're going to drop it down to 70%. Actually, let's drop down to 50%. And now we see what is happening there. Now, if we take a look over this one, we see we have 50% agreement with type 2 diabetes, and there's 227 things. Chronic fatigue syndrome, just 64 taxons involved in terms of this condition. 50% 519. So yeah, you're halfway there. Liver cirrhosis, 83% of 638. So we have a good amount of overlap there. And 56% of 118. And that means there's 118 taxon bacteria here, of which 56% are shared with this condition. Now, you can also go backwards. This is where things are likely to progress to. And if you go over here, and we can see what possibly went down that one, and we have a mood disorder is something which goes in. Notice we only have 6 taxon for a mood disorder. So that means 33% of 6 taxon means just 2. So just 2 bacteria in common with MACFS. Over here we have 25 taxons going in. So without IBS doesn't lead strongly to with IBS. They seem to be 2 independent groups. And cerebral palsy is 31%. So probably not likely. Now, for the last part of the demonstration, I'm going to go over and click See All Conditions. Everything on one chart, not just one item and what's around it, everything all together. And we'll go over here, and you need to wait a few seconds because it brings in a whole bunch of information. Notice we have 65 percentile here as a threshold. So what we have here is you have a whole bunch of things on the outside, which are things which does not have a 65% association with any other condition. In other words, they are likely independent of other conditions. And then we have things here, there. Now you can click your mouse button and zoom in and take a look at things, and you can see where things are. And most of the time you notice there are 2 arrows. For example, we have 69% going from fibromyalgia to liver cirrhosis, and we have 4% going from liver cirrhosis to fibromyalgia. So again, the counts are different, and the higher the count and higher the percentage, the more confidence we have. The lower the count, or the lower the count with a moderate percentage, it's pretty iffy. If we have a low percentage and a high count, there's practically no association there. So we have there, and we can go in, we can do things like moving around things, and then it will rearrange life for you, or attempt to, and you can start going there, or you can go in and drill into anything. You can go back up to the top and say, okay, that's nice, but let's raise it to 80%. And then we have a much smaller world of strong relationships. And we are sitting there, and we have, for example, constipation to Crohn's disease, liver cirrhosis, mood disorder, etc. Again, always hover over to find out the details. In some cases, I will be trying to increase the number of taxons involved so that the charts are more accurate. And you can see things from there. Again, some things like COVID is a result of a virus infection, but it also implies that if you have some of these conditions and get COVID, chances are your COVID is going to be worse. Okay, so that's basically it. Again, you have all these things which don't have any strong associations, which probably is operating pretty independently. Okay, so that is basically it. It's just a quick, short introduction. If this condition, which is not on the list, which you're interested in, and you want to get it added, all you have to do is dig up PubMed studies showing what bacteria are involved, if they are high or low, put it all together, the citation, a link to the study, and then which bacteria are you have interpreted from the study. Send it to me and the name of whatever it is, and I will add it to the database, and voila, you will see it and what all the relations is connected to this new thing, to what I currently have. So I encourage people to go out and make a contribution to citizen science. A conditions that interest you, go out, find out what bacteria are associated with it. We'll add it to here. Everybody will benefit it, and you can see what relationships are. Okay, I think that's about it. And after others, mischief.